Ladies and gentlemen, One Piece chapter 1127 is out, and after a long awaited arrival, we are finally at Elbaf. This is insane, and I think, to be honest with you, this arc has started a lot faster than I anticipated, and we maybe might even be getting a glimpse of the main villain or antagonist or a main character in the arc's devil fruit power already, and not many people have noticed. So let's get into talking about that. So just straight up, a lot of shit is going down. There is so much chaos in the beginning of this chapter that I can't really wrap my head around what's going on, but there's many different little tidbits of information that kind of clue us into something going on. And what I mean by that is that there's something off. Whether it's the hallucination from the alcohol last chapter or the work of a devil fruit, there is very little minor discrepancies sprinkled throughout this chapter. I have a picture that I found on Twitter that I'll pop up on screen here, but things like Luffy missing his hat, Nami missing her tattoo, the weapons on people's backs changing throughout the chapter are going missing, Luffy saying Gear 4 when it's clearly a Gear 3 attack, right? These could just be chalked up to editorial mistakes from Oda's editors or Oda himself, but they're just so specific that I find it hard to believe that this is not blatantly, the decision of the writer, of Oda, right? It feels like, especially off of the back of, something that's meant to hallucinate our characters with the alcohol, this is very deliberate, right? That we are supposed to be seeing these minor things that are off, which clues me in to believe that there's a work of a devil fruit at use here, and I think it is Loki's devil fruit. I think Loki, for some reason, either sees the Strawhats as a threat or as some kind of objective that needs to be taken care of for Elbaf, right? They are a Yonko crew, and outsiders aren't really welcome like that, like pirates to like a normal civilized island, right? So maybe Loki sees the Strawhats and is saying, we need to do something about these guys, we need to keep them in check. So he's giving them all these hallucinations, or is trying to fight them with these like magical beasts that he's controlling. I think something is at work here. I'm not sure quite what it is, but it leads me to believe that we are somehow getting played with, whether it's from the alcohol or from Loki or something. Something is going on. A counterpoint to that logic, though, is that I thought maybe this whole Lego aspect of whatever castle we're in right now, like the bricks that like Nami's tripping over, and also these magical beasts, would be exclusively seen by the Strawhats, since they're the ones who are kind of getting messed with, who are having these hallucinations. But the giants outside of this situation, who are just seemingly main citizens of Elbaf, mention like these beasts as well. They mention this like rabbit god that Luffy takes down. It also looks like their houses are made of Lego. So maybe this isn't some kind of hallucination. Maybe this is just what Elbaf is like, and it's the Strawhats are just blatantly being attacked. It wouldn't explain all the discrepancies that I mentioned previously, but it is weird that we do see Elbaf citizens talking about, there's a fire, there's people attacking the castle, something's going on with the rabbit god, the ear god, or whatever, right? Like, they're acknowledging the same things that I'm claiming to be hallucinations or some kind of devil fruit trick, which is strange to me. The only other thing I can think of is that maybe Elbaf is kind of separated into two warring factions. We do know that previously, I think it was 2 or 3 chapters ago, Elbaf was called a warland, so maybe there's some kind of conflict here, and we're seeing Loki's like soldiers compared to like Dorian Bragi's faction of Elbaf, or something along those lines. It really is tough to put together what the hell is going on here, because there's just a lot to take in, but something is for sure going on, and I think it's deliberate. Regardless of what it is, though, 100% these Straw Hats are here in full force. I love seeing the Monster Trio all in their Elbaf get-ups. Like, we've been waiting for like the Nordic kind of style of clothing since like Little Garden for everybody to arrive on Elbaf. And this also kind of made me feel a little more appreciative of our Yonko crew, right, arriving on an island. Normally when the Straw Hats arrive on an island, there's some kind of, mishap going on that kind of rattles the crew, which I guess is happening right now, but we see this cat or whatever it is turn into a lion, and then the Monster Trio just makes such quick work of it. It makes me realize that, like, we're no longer being threatened by things when we arrive in an island. We are like the threat. These Straw Hats are like the problem for any island they arrive at. Like, it is so great to see Oda, like, pay attention to those small details where we can't just have the Straw Hats dismembered and, like, destroyed anytime they get to an island now to, like, throw the arc into chaos. We have to see Oda do this in a way that allows the Straw Hats to still display how strong they are, right? Which I think this is a perfect way of doing that, because he's kind of throwing a wrench into the plans of Elbaf with, like, confusion and, like, a little bit of mystery here, rather than having our Straw Hats, like, lose battles and get separated, because you can't do that anymore. They're too strong. They're too smart. They've been through a lot. You can't just have them lose to, like, simple animals like this now. And Oda realizes that and has them just absolutely destroy this thing. And I just love moments like that, where the tiny, like, scaling of our characters comes into huge moments like this one. That's really it for this chapter, but I do want to throw a prediction out there. I do think now that it's kind of confirmed that the silhouette we saw a few chapters ago that was waiting for the Straw Hats isn't Shanks, because he was dealing with the Barto Club, I do think that he or she, whoever the silhouette was, is the reason behind all of this hallucination or attack or separation, of whatever you want to call it, whatever's going on right now. I'm going to say is the work of that person. My guess would be Loki, but it really could be anybody. The reason I say Loki is because it's a character who is foreshadowed as a character who we don't really know what they're capable of or what their motives are, and because of how confusing this is with the hallucinations and all these creatures and seemingly powers popping up out of nowhere, I would assume it's the work of a new character. But regardless, I think whoever that person is who is causing all this mayhem, and I think we're going to find out pretty soon who that is. But regardless, even if you couldn't make any sense of this chapter like I did and had to just reread it 40 times to tell what the hell is real, what the hell is fake, and what's going on with the crew, it doesn't matter, because we're in Elbaf now. It is so refreshing to finally be here, to finally be at an island we've been waiting for like 1,000 episodes, 1,000 chapters. And to be honest, I think it's going to be an extremely fruitful experience. I think our patience is going to pay off. I think it's going to be a fantastic arc. I couldn't tell you if it's going to be a short, like, 30-episode intermediate arc or a long arc filled with conflict like Dressrosa or something like that. But regardless, I'm excited. Break next week, so we're going to have to wait 2 weeks to find out what happens next. Until next time.